Hi, I'm Mrs. Gaither, and I've got a great story to share with you today. The book is called Ruby Red by Kerstin Gier, and there's really a funny story about this book. It's the first book in a trilogy, and it actually came out in hardback in 2009. When I read it, I was amazed at how great it was. It's full of adventure, it's full of time travel, it's full of a lot of realistic fiction of things that teenagers are doing today, and I was really excited and couldn't wait to get my hands on the sequel, which is called Sapphire Blue. And then I found out that the author is a German writer and it only came out in German. And so for a while, a friend and I thought, hey, let's get a copy anyway. Let's try to translate it. And I said, that's crazy. It'll take us forever. And so we waited and we waited and we were rewarded because it eventually came out in the US in English, and it is a trilogy. The first book is Ruby Red. This one. The second book is called Sapphire Blue, and the third book is called Emerald Green. And you're going to want to read all three of them. They're that good. So the story is around this girl who's named Gwen, and she has lived her whole life in London, and she's grown up in this family that has this really interesting thing about them. Someone from each generation, a girl, will be the carrier of a gene that allows them to time travel. And this is a secret that Gwen did not know. But what she finds out when she turns 16 and has this strange time traveling experience is that everyone in her family thought it was going to be her cousin Charlotte who would inherit this gene. And Charlotte has spent years training, getting ready to be the person that would time travel, and then she finds out it's Gwen. And Gwen finds out it's herself, and she's really surprised. Her whole family is surprised, and Charlotte is actually not very happy about it. She's kind of hard to handle and does not take the news well that it's not her, and she doesn't really offer Gwen any advice. She's kind of mean about it, and so Gwen's sort of on her own, and she has to go to this place where another family across town, who also has someone from each generation, a boy, inherit this gene, and she has to meet this guy named Gideon, and they are going to be a time traveling pair. So what's really interesting is in the current time period, they're going through regular teenager stuff, going to school, studying for classes and exams and things like that. And then in their off hours from school, Gwen is trying to train for this job of being a time traveler, where she and Gideon will be assigned a mission, and they are being given the task of solving this mystery of a missing set of time travelers that they are both related to. So what's really interesting is they have to be sent back in time and they use this device that requires a drop of their blood, but it's not just the time traveling and this device that they have to use, but they also have to be dressed and trained to speak and behave in the same time period that they're visiting. So there's all these people that get them ready for these missions. It's an incredible story because they have to have outfits and swords and pistols and things that someone from that time period would have, not a cell phone, which is an interesting thing that happens to Gwen when she snaps a selfie of herself when she's back in time during an era where electronic devices did not exist. It's a very interesting story. I know you're going to love it. Like I said, the first book is called Ruby Red. We have all three of the books from the trilogy in the WMS Library. Come on in and check it out. I know you're going to love it. I did. And even though the cover of the paperback looks kind of girly, this is a story for both girls and boys. It's an amazing adventure. So come on in and check it out.